The ancient books say that in the beginning, there was no light in our world. It took a super strong man to bring a sun down to our little planet. The guardian of the sun regulates the seasons, looks after our land, and...
Well, on one of those days I was ridiculously bored, I decided to try out a title on Netflix called Immune.
Can you be immune to the COVID-19 virus?
Whoa, okay. We're not going there, not today. But yeah, that type of Immune, which is a play on moon. I'm pretty sure everyone could figure that out. It had a very interesting story, with some weird characters, and some innovative ones as well. Of course, when I was watching it, I was thinking, okay, some of this is a little too over the top, I can't watch all of this at once. But as the story continued, I actually found myself enjoying it. I didn't find it, like, funny. The type of jokes that they told in this movie were obviously for kids, things that kids would find funny in a kiddie kind of way. And I didn't find it really funny. I think there was only like one section I found funny. But the rest of it I actually found whimsical. It's a really cool adventure. Although it does feel a little bit rushed towards the end. I loved Mune's character, I loved Glim's character, the candlestick wax girl, and that was a really good play on making a character different, because there's something about Glim that just proves to be very strange. I don't know what she is, if she's a creature or just a living candle like in Beauty and the Beast, but she exists in the dusk and dawn era of the planet. The way they make this movie, they make it seem as though there's this like really flat earth thing, and all that happens is the sun and moon move alongside each other, and the part right in the middle is where it's always dusk and dawn. And they basically rotate or take turns, but they don't make things seem as though it's like a round planet. It seems like a more flat landscape, where night and day people can always see each other. As you can see, the night creatures have a blue hue. Here's Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas's Boogeyman, who's part of the night creatures, and they can always see each other. One exists on the night side, one exists on the day side, or then there's a little tiny sliver in the middle. It's freaking weird, but that's the way their world works. So this is obviously not a rounded planet, and it's obviously a very small region as well. Whoever the guardians of the sun and the moon are, take control of these big temple guardian things. They seem to be colossal animals that are in charge of pulling the sun and the moon across the land. But they are also called temples. Very large animals that look like they're the one and only of their kind. They are specifically either engineered or they live specifically for this one purpose. I like the interaction that the characters have with one another. I think that some of the writing is very basic. Obviously, this is not exactly for grown-ups per se. It's so simple, you can write off things that you wouldn't think would be writable or would require more so of a more complex explanation. But for example, in Glim's case, she is basically a wax creature. Her father has to mold her back together if something melts too much. And if she's directly in the sunlight or daytime side, she will melt into a puddle of wax. If she is on the nighttime side, she'll freeze, which is exactly what candles do. So they had to write a convenient thing for the plot to go along so that she has special type of wax so she doesn't exactly melt anymore when she's in the daytime. I also really enjoyed the moon creature. That thing was amazing. It has like this upside down beak and it has these long legs like a giraffe. They really capture the sheer size of the creature. When you see it running, it looks so crazy, but it looks like a creature that is actually heavy, and it looks like something that would do a lot of damage if it were to fall over. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that they do show the Earth here, or whatever this is, and there's stars all around it. They also mention that the Guardians are responsible for the seasons. But I don't know if what we're looking at is from the top down, because it seems as though during the movie, the Guardians always move back and forth from one another. Like, you would expect the sun to go back around here or whatever because they don't work exactly the same way. But in the movie, they're always right next to each other. They either go far out there where they're in the distance and then come back this way. You never see them just completely disappear. That could be for the sake of the movie, but obviously the physics of it don't work. Or maybe I'm missing something. I also like the design of the creatures. Some creatures are obviously what we would think as inanimate objects, and some of them you don't have any idea what they are. There's a great magical element in this movie that's just not explained, and it doesn't need to be, because it seems as though even though there's a land of dreams in this movie, it seems as though the land that they're in is still a land of dreams. It's like that whole Matrix situation where they're like, oh, the sun and the moon came from the land of dreams, but they live in a place where rocks come to life, and when they die, they sprout into mountains and stuff, and it's like, okay, I think you all are still in the dream world there. Yes, I understand. It's not supposed to make much sense because it's a kid's movie. But my brain likes to wonder. Nothing's wrong with that. I was still surprised how entertaining this movie was. Maybe it was because of the fantastical elements. Maybe it was because of the mystical land and the beautiful lighting effects that they did with this movie to make me feel as though I was there. The characters were also fun, and I felt like I got a new world in my pocket. I do really like that. And the thing is that the kiddiness of it wasn't too over the top. There were serious elements here that made me feel like this was really happening to the characters. When somebody was lost, or when they were in love or hurting for each other, man, these characters cried. And when they were sad, you felt like they were sad. It wasn't like the whole, oh, how sad. Okay, I guess we better go. No, like they legit mourned over each other, which was so beautiful. You could see the tears in their eyes as they were hurting over something they could not control. And yes, I'm a sap, but I found myself crying too because they were about to cry. And that part of it felt so very real. So yes, I loved it. I actually loved Mune. Didn't expect to like it. I didn't think I was going to stay there and watch the whole thing, but here I am. It was a beautiful story, and I like the way they did it. Okay, you can see the curve. So maybe they explain it like, because there, you see the sunlight is right there. The sunny side is always in view of the night side. The night side is always in view of the sunny side. I'm like, how? The only way you can explain that is if one half of the sphere is always lit by the moon, no matter what position on the half it is, which is impossible. These things also walk in straight lines. So if this is indeed a round planet, you can see where the moon is. It always looks like that, by the way, and the sun is. This means that if the sun is right here, all of this half of the sphere is always lit. And if the moon is right here, all of this half of the moon is lit by the moonlight. Or maybe they just walk across the path together, because they do show they do show the change in light. Sorry, I'm working this through with my brain just now. So maybe the sun and the moon, they walk here together. They walk alongside each other. And then, okay, you know what? Forget it. Why am I even trying? It works. Somehow it works. There may be conflicting scenes in the movie, but whatever. So, if you didn't mind getting spoilers for this, like you were warned, go ahead and check it out on Netflix. It's a decent passing time type of movie. You won't feel as though your whole life has been changed since you've watched it. It's not like a extraordinary classic of a movie, but it was enjoyable. If you actually sit down and watch it and get past all the goofiness of it, it's actually quite entertaining. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.